What's up, guys? D-Rock1992 here. For this video, I'm not going to be talking about a movie review at all. I'm not going to be doing a movie review of any sort. This next video is going to be a countdown of the top 7 James Bond actors who have portrayed James Bond over the years. I say 7 because there are 7 total Bond actors that have portrayed the great action hero star that we've all grown to love. There have been 25 James Bond movies, 23 official, 2 unofficial. Now, 23 official meaning that they were produced by Eon Productions, and 2 unofficial meaning that they're non-Eon Productions. The 7 James Bond actors are Sean Connery, Roger Moore, David Niven, George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and Daniel Craig. So I will be ranking them in order from 7 to 1. Number 7 is David Niven. He did a movie called Casino Royale in 1967. It actually is one of the unofficial Bond films. This movie is quite a trip. I mean, it's like Bond meets psychedelic stuff and things like that. It was a weird movie. One of the weirdest movies I've ever seen. It was okay, but David Niven is just, it doesn't really remind me of James Bond particularly. So that's why he's low on this list. Number 6 is George Lazenby. George Lazenby also did one Bond film like David Niven did. This movie was called On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Now, I like the film. It's a good movie. Whenever it comes on TV, I will watch it. Whenever it does. It doesn't come on very often. But his performance as Bond was good. I liked it. But it's not the most memorable Bond in my eyes. Number 5 is Daniel Craig, the latest James Bond. He's done 3 Bond films: Casino Royale, the 2006 version, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall. Skyfall is easily my favorite Bond film of all for Daniel Craig. I mean, a way to describe Daniel Craig as James Bond is that he plays a very dark Bond, but also a vulnerable James Bond. You know that the guy has some issues that he has to deal with. So that definitely is apparent in the Daniel Craig Bond films, but he's not the best Bond. Number 4 is Sean Connery. This is going to be controversy for many Bond fans, as a lot of people think Connery is the best Bond. I don't think so. He's done 7 Bond films. Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, Diamonds Are Forever, and the unofficial Bond film Never Say Never Again. Never Say Never Again is my favorite Bond film with Sean Connery. 2 Bond films that aren't on the list of tops for me are Goldfinger, another one, since people think that Goldfinger's the best. I don't think so. And the first Bond film, Dr. No. But Connery is classic Bond. He was the first James Bond, but he's not the best in my eyes. Number 3 is Pierce Brosnan. Now, he starred in 4 Bond films: GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day. And Pierce Brosnan is in my top 3 mainly because GoldenEye is my favorite Bond film of all time. It was the first Bond film that Brosnan did. It's my favorite of all time. I had the video game for the Nintendo 64 when I was growing up, so that's a primary reason why I love this movie so much. A description of this Bond would be definitely action-packed, like the other Bonds. Charismatic definitely is a word to describe Brosnan's Bond. Connery's Bond is definitely rugged, rugged, uh, suave, action hero, definitely. So Pierce Brosnan is number 3. Now the top 2. Number 2 is Roger Moore. Roger Moore describing Roger Moore, he's very suave, sophisticated. He's very gentlemanly, but he packs a punch like those other Bonds. Roger Moore did 7 Bond films: Live and Let Die, The Man with the Golden Gun, The Spy Who Loved Me, Moonraker, Octopussy, A View to a Kill, and For Your Eyes Only. For Your Eyes Only is my favorite Roger Moore film. This guy's number 2, definitely. And the number 1 Bond that I love, and who's very underrated in the Bond community, is Timothy Dalton. He did only 2 Bond films, License to Kill and The Living Daylights, but I love these films. Timothy Dalton is very dark as Bond. A very dark James Bond, and that's what I like. He's gritty, he's tough, he's very action-packed. My favorite of the 2 is The Living Daylights. That is tops for me personally. And so Timothy Dalton is my top Bond of all time. That's it. D-Rock 1992 out.